What is going on, everybody? Hey, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Um, Jumping on for just a couple minutes here, want to just talk through just a couple things as we think through stages of leadership. This is one of the things over the last several years that we have consistently helped many of the churches and leaders that we've done coaching through. Um, and what I want to do for just a couple minutes is just walk through with you our stages of leadership development. So I would say that leadership is one of those primary pillars that we have as a ministry. And so, all of our coaching, in our process with our churches and our partners and our campus leaders, like we want to hit this idea of leadership. But it's interesting how many times, and it was interesting. I posted about this just a few minutes ago, and Ben, one of our staff members, made a comment where he made this comment that a lot of people are stuck in. Um, Areas of leadership where it's preventing them from beginning to move forward. So what I want to do for just a couple minutes is walk through with you just some of these different stages of leadership. And this is a high level overview, and I'm just going to kind of warn you that this is something that we hit with our leaders that takes literally weeks and months to go through some of this stuff. But I want to just kind of stop and show you what we do with different leaders that we walk through. And so when you think about stages of leadership, here's what we talk about. Number one is step one is really this idea of leading yourself, right? And so at the very beginning, when we're working with churches to launch campus ministries, to launch young adult ministries, when they're thinking about, one of the primary things that we see as a struggle is this ability to lead oneself. It's amazing that people can have so many ideas of what they want to do, what they want to produce, the type of ministry they want to have, but so often people get stuck in just simply leading yourself. And so in step one of stages of leadership, you need to understand how to lead yourself. Then we move to step two, where we want to begin to invite other people together with us. And so we move from leading ourselves to leading with others. And so one of the things that we see within churches is that there's this tendency to have this idea of lone ranger ministry, right? Where you're beginning to really try to lead by yourself. And so how do you begin to surround people and take people around you and to begin to move forward with leadership with other people? So, step one, leading yourself. Step two, leading others. Step three is leading through vision, right? So, once we begin to bring other people in the conversation of leadership, right? We begin to pull other people around. The next thing that we want to begin to do is begin to make sure that we're heading in the right direction together, that we're collectively moving forward together and beginning to go where the places that God has called us. And so it's just not leading to lead, but ultimately it's leading to go someplace. It's leading to fulfill a certain mission and vision that we want to accomplish as leaders. And so we move from leading yourself to leading with others, leading through vision. Then we move to step four is leadership alignment. And this is really about this idea. If you've ever read any of Jim Collins' material before, he talks about this idea of getting the right people on the bus and then getting them in the right seat. And so, even as you begin to think about the alignment around the giftings and the skills and the passions of people, how do you begin to put people in the right place, in the right seat, in the right spot in order to begin to move the ministry forward? Then we move to step five, which is leadership multiplication. And so this is really about beginning to define systems and strategies to see leadership grow, to see you begin to hand off some of your responsibilities within leadership, but ultimately to see leadership maximized, moving through leadership multiplication. And the last one is leadership sending, where we want to begin to see leaders move out. And so one of the things I want to encourage you is, a lot of times what we find is that as we talk to people, is a lot of times people are focused on step three, step four, step five, but really the thing that's holding them back is step one and step two. Right, the thing that's really beginning to hold them back into how God has called them to be and how He's called them to move in the ministry is step one and step two. And so one of the things I want to encourage you by is that as you begin to assess your leadership, what does it look like for you to begin um, to even examine some of those areas to identify where you're at and to begin to move forward as a ministry as well. Cool. I think that's it. So this is a high level overview. Hopefully this is helpful for you as you begin to think about what this looks like for you, for your ministry. Um, and if you have any questions on this, would love to talk to you a little bit more in depth in terms of what this looks like. Okay, we'll talk to you guys later.